What's up, guys? Alright, let's talk about how binge drinking can possibly affect your BJJ game. First off, guys, I want to say, listen, I get it, okay? This is certainly not going to be any type of lecture or anything like that. I've been there, and I certainly have done that. And, okay, I'm not going to try and be funny when I say this, but please hear me out, okay? I don't think I was ever an alcoholic, but I certainly believe I had some type of alcohol problem. I think there's for at least a solid decade, for the most part, booze was a part of my weekends for every weekend. And but there's one thing I really have no doubts about, and this decision I made is I knew it affected my athletic performance. Okay, especially me, I wasn't naive to it. When I was a young guy in college, my major, I was an exercise science major, okay? And I had to take drug studies courses, and so they always covered booze. And so I was very, very in tune with the effects that booze had on your body. And I also, but that was a decision I made to continue drinking, okay? Because no matter what sport I participated in, I guess back then in college, obviously, it was football. But probably my favorite sport of all time was going to be social, and when I was out being social was chasing women. So that, actually, whoa, let me roll it back real quick, guys. I want to make something really clear. I never chased women, guys, okay? Let me be clear. I caught them, okay? Alright, now that we're clear on that. But that was a decision I made, okay? That was more important to me than even playing football, it appeared, especially at a young guy. But hey, you know what? I'm not young anymore, so I'm really not going to answer for that. So, I did what I did, and if I can go back, maybe I would change it. But the 19-year-old me certainly thinks a lot different than I think at this age. So, anyways, let's talk about how it affects you, though. Okay, guys. First thing, it affects performance, of course. And I do not mean just when you're drunk, okay? Going out getting smashed, it's going to affect your timing and performance even up to several days later. So, listen, it's the less I suck at Jiu Jitsu, the more I see how important timing is, okay? And being just responding like that, okay? Today's Saturday, if I go out and just get ripped drunk today, and there's a good chance that even when I show up to BJJ class on Monday, I will still not be fully recovered, and my timing and my performance is going to suffer because of this. Even if I don't have a drink, if I put down my last drink at midnight tonight, it's still gonna be suffered up to days later. Especially now, I think the effects of booze tend to last longer in me than they did in the past. So I would definitely be, my reaction time for Jiu Jitsu would be abysmal on Monday, and I'd really just be going just for the exercise and not so much for learning everything that day, and I'd probably have to wait until Tuesday for that. So, all right, guys. The other thing, and I mean this when I say guys, I mean men. It lowers your testosterone level, okay? And this is another one I know sounds really weird because if you go out to clubs and things like that and bars. How often that's where you're going to see fights, right? You think it's it'll just raise your testosterone level. But no, in fact, it actually decreases your testosterone level. And the fights are a totally different thing altogether. But here's the thing, guys. What does testosterone do, though? It helps you as far as your muscle recovery and also just muscular development. So you suppress that when you're drunk. You're not going to be able to do that. So that the whole time that you're in the bottle, your body's not going to be recovering or building muscle as it should normally. So, okay? The other thing, guys, dehydration. Booze is a diuretic, okay? It makes you piss. If you guys have been drunk, you know how many times you have to go run and piss those nights you're out, right? You're just going to piss and piss and piss. So the problem with dehydration, it makes you susceptible to things like getting cramping up, and also those dry muscles. This is much more likely to pull a muscle, and if you pull a muscle, let's face it, man, it's not an easy fix. It's going to take some time. to heal. It's not something where it's going to take at least, I don't know. I know myself. I tend to pull calves often in my whole life. I don't know why, but if I do it, I know that whole week my calf's going to be all jacked up and everything. So pull muscles suck, obviously. So this is the way of preventing them. Stay hydrated. And just so you know, like how much, I don't know, just how much water weight you can potentially piss away. One time when I was in college, I came home one summer before we had our summer camp, began and everything for football. And I wanted to go. I saw my old high school friends and everything. It was awesome. And one of my friends, his father's way. He had his house in this lake. So we had a big party. Like I got there at noon, and I literally, just there drinking and other things. I guess until 4 in the next morning, right? So whatever time I got up that next day, I remember going to the scale, getting on there, and I had lost like 10 pounds. I was somewhere in the 220s. I don't remember my exact weight, but I remember being horrified. My weight had gone down to the 200 and teens somewhere. I'm like, oh my God, because I had to go back to summer, or the camp was fall camp was about to begin for football. And I was like, holy shit, man, I lost all this weight. This is before I learned anything in school and everything about booze, dehydration, stuff like that. I'd only been a freshman taking all the basic courses that every freshman has to take. So I was like freaked out. But then I realized I was able to gain all that weight back pretty rapidly and throughout the whole day. And I remember I think it was because I was paranoid when I went to the gym, within 2 days, all the weight was back. So I didn't lose muscle, I didn't lose fat, really. It was just all water weight. It all came back. So I was just stunned. That was the first time I've ever kind of monitored that and then saw it my own self. I never really jumped on scales for for a reason or anything. I was just concerned about my weight because, whatever. Just wanted to. My coaches in football had some expectations where they wanted me to come in the following season. So I was a little panicked then. So all right. So lactic acid breakdown, guys. This is another thing. How booze affects and how your body breaks down lactic acid. And if it doesn't break down lactic acid well, that means your muscles are going to stay sore longer. So, another one there. And also let's talk about wasted calories. In every gram of alcohol, there is 7 calories. Okay. This is not quality calories. This is not the type of calories that are going to help build muscle. This is not the kind of calories that's going to give you great energy for your athletic goals and BJJ, right? This is just wasted shit that's probably going to be eventually stored as fat. Garbage. Just, so, guys, not drinking, obviously, a lot less garbage calories, all right? This is another one. I remember I have a quick story about how alcohol, obviously, it makes you clumsy. And here's one where I paid a price as well. And I wasn't in any really sport or competing in anything at the time, but it was just really fucking annoying, and I was really, really, really angry at myself and the fact that it makes you clumsy. And what happened? I one night went out and got smashed with some friends. I did the very difficult task of walking off the sidewalk to cross the street. Jaywalking probably, I guess, but for whatever reason, because I was so drunk, that act of walking off a sidewalk that was this high was too much for me, and I badly sprained my ankle. Okay, I really couldn't do shit for a couple of weeks, and it was affecting all sorts of. I couldn't even really do a lot of the weightlifting. It was so sore. I couldn't do things like leg press or squats, or anything like that. And back then, at that point in my life, I remember I was doing just a lot of for cardio. I was just doing running and things like that. Obviously I couldn't run. And my ankle did not get back for an entire month, okay? So that's a case where, something I did, as far as that day, getting drunk, making me clumsy, hurting myself, didn't affect me just that day. It affected me for an entire month. So, keep that in mind, guys. You do run the risk of potentially hurting yourself, and and affecting you a lot longer than just whatever you do that night. So, okay. And then the other thing, guys, listen, sleep. I'm not like a sleep expert by any stretch. Sleep's obviously a pretty complicated thing that science learns more about all the time. But as you know, and I know, well, I'm not saying, but as you drinkers know, it's the quality of your sleep is much suckier when you're drunk, as opposed to obviously being sober. So, and even if you get like 9 hours of sleep after a night of drinking, you know it's not the same quality sleep you get when you're sober. And you know, what does sleep help with? Recovery, okay? Because of that, you don't get that quality deep sleep. You're not going to recover like you normally should. So those past workouts you got the past week, you're not going to recover as easily for the following week, okay? Now keep in mind, guys, I'm just talking like, you know, for binge drinking here totally too. It's like, I'm just talking about like weekend warrior types like I was, just going out and get smashed then. But listen, guys, this is, you know, I mean, a lot depends on obviously your drinking frequency, how much you drink, how drunk you get. When you go out and get smashed, you know, decide to get drunk, maybe don't get smashed, maybe just have a few, just get a little buzz. Obviously, it's like the effects are going to vary. And every person varies with the effects of alcohol as well, and also even different degrees of drunk, how drunk you become. You know, some person body at whatever is the drinking, say 0.08 on the blood alcohol level tests that police here in the United States give you for, I think in most states. That's failing. You know, some people at 0.08 body will still process things better than other people. So there's a lot of variables in here. I can't say for sure, you know, a blanket statement or anything, you know, how it's going to affect you. But I think it's some things they're undeniable. I mean, you know, it doesn't. One thing for sure is there is 7 grams of shitty calories, no matter who ingests it, right? Things like that. So, and I don't think anyone's immune to it affecting your performance in at least some way. So keep that in mind, guys. Obviously, there's no lecture, man. Everyone, you guys do what you want, man. I mean, it's your body, right? And it's certainly not a plug to say no to alcohol. It's certainly not a plug to say, you know, oh yeah, go out and get smashed. You know, do whatever you want, man. It's your body. I think everyone has a right to put whatever they want into it. So, you know, have at it, right? Okay, so, you know, the bottom line is though, yeah, just determine if it's all worth it. You know, there's certainly times I look back now, it's like, you know, why did I get drunk that night or something? Because that was such a waste. There was nothing going on. I just got drunk for no reason, just because there was extra beers left over in the fridge and I decided to finish them. You know, that day. There's no reason, right? That's just dumb. I mean, so I think the one thing, I don't know, I wish I can go back and pick and choose my spots, the unnecessary stupid drinking for no apparent reason. You know, all it does is affect my performance down the road. Ridiculous. So, anyhow, guys, that's it. Do what you want. and the only thing I ask, though, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate that. And hey, if you like this video, man, yeah, please hit that like button that you see down there. And guys, we'll talk to you soon. Ooosss.